A stunning battlefield against a mysterious marine race. 2022's latest sci-fi masterpiece, Black Panther 2, comes to life. The story begins. To save the Black Panther, Sister Shuri tries to create a new herbal medicine, but in the end, she's too late. Black Panther dies of illness. In memory of this fallen hero, Wakanda mourned. A solemn funeral was held for the Panther, as his family looked on in grief. Panther left us all forever. A year later, the United Nations, represented by the United States, denounced Wakanda on trumped-up charges that they were using vibranium to create weapons of mass destruction. In fact, they wanted Wakanda to hand over the gold and share it with the world. The Queen's disagreement. Everyone here is the source of all the evil. And so it was. Since the Queen doesn't want to share it, the US just sends someone to steal it, thinking that Wakanda would be weakened by the death of the Black Panther. But the Queen was prepared for this and sent a troop of supermodels to foil the enemy's ruse. With the captives of the 8 nations, the Queen humiliates these hypocritical politicians in public. On the other hand, a mysterious scientific team has descended upon the sea somewhere in the Atlantic. Their aim is to bring back a lost vibranium probe, but as soon as the divers get close, the control center loses its signal. In the darkness of the deep sea, the divers have been attacked by an unknown creature, followed by cryptic whispers all around. People jumped into the sea under the spell of the voices. The doctor covers his ears and goes to the deck to fire his gun to stop it. The moment the sound is cut off, the mysterious creature in the sea jumps onto the deck. The doctor saw this and fired to deter it. Unable to hurt the creature, she fled into the helicopter. But she didn't get far before the helicopter was dragged and smashed into the sea. Back in Wakanda, the Queen took her daughter to the beach to mourn the Panther. But Shuri didn't want to burn her brother's belongings. Suddenly, a mysterious man flies out of the sea. The mother and daughter became nervous. When questioned, the man calls himself Namor. He said that the American army had found the gene in his hometown. Although they were driven away for a while, but to prevent this from happening again, Namor wanted Wakanda's help. Seeing Namor in his vibranium, the Queen realized that vibranium was not unique to Wakanda. Namor wanted the Queen to find the designer of the vibranium detector and bring her to her. Once the job was done, the Queen can call from the conch he left behind. Otherwise, he will lead the sea armies into Wakanda. Seeing the vibranium detector behind him, the Queen knew that Namor was right. She summoned the Queen's chiefs to discuss Namor's case. To get to the truth of the matter, the Queen asked the general to take Shuri to investigate. A clue led them to the designer of the detector. Lily was still a university student. The probe was just a school project. After learning of Shuri's intentions, Lily had to follow them. Little did they know that Lily's every move was already under federal surveillance. Just as they were returning to the lab to get the data, federal agents surrounded the place. The 3 of them split up and broke out of the siege. Putting on their homemade battle armor, Lily took off into the sky and provides the 2 of them with information about the enemy's movements. To take out the enemy's eyes, Lily makes a decisive dash to take out the scout plane. As the pair charged through the gate, Lily provided fire support to clear the way, thinking they had escaped the enemy's pursuit. But they didn't get very far. The trio were stopped by a huge explosion. It turns out that Namor's marine soldiers have arrived here. They'd been ordered to kill the scientists who designed the probe. The admiral took out his spear and stepped in to stop them. A fierce battle ensued. To the general's surprise, the seamen could not be killed. Challenged by the leader, the general was no match for him. The general was a bit overwhelmed by the fight. He was finally swept into the sea by the seamen's bombs. When he woke up, Shuri stopped the 2 men. After some negotiation, Namor told the seafarers to take them all back. After the princess is kidnapped, the Queen was furious and blamed the general. The general was dismissed in front of the clan. Based on the location of Shuri's earrings, the Queen had the last known location of the earring. In order to save her daughter, the Queen thought of Nargia, who was close to the missing location. She was the ex-wife of the Black Panther. So when Shuri was kidnapped, the sister-in-law was sure to do nothing. Soon Nargia was investigating. She went to a small island in Mexico and asks an old man for information about Namor's whereabouts. In their description, Namor was their king, the feathered serpent god. and had appeared on a nearby beach. Meanwhile, at Neymar's invitation, Suri changed into a dress to meet him. After the meeting, Neymar clears up Suri's doubts. Back in time to 1571, as a result of the Spanish invasion, Neymar's mother's tribe is infected with a disease. To cure the plague, the tribe's warriors found a cure. They were saved by a plant that grew on a blue stone. After drinking the blue liquid from this plant, they were cured of their illness, but they also lost the ability to breathe on land. Instead, they were able to breathe like fish in the sea. The tribe was then free from war and disease. Soon Neymar was born in the sea. The bluegrass slowed Neymar's growth, but his mother was taken from him by time. With his mother's wishes in mind, Neymar would bury his mother in his homeland. But when he returned to his homeland, he saw the ravages of the colonists on his people. Remembering what had happened to his mother, ignited by anger, Neymar chose revenge. He took the life of the colonists to console his mother. At the moment of burying his mother, Neymar's hatred for humans was also planted in his heart. That's why Neymar had to kill Lily. Suri promised that Lily would stay in Wakanda. Neymar hesitated at Suri's offer. To ease the tension between the two sides, Suri wanted to see the place. So with Neymar as his guide, Suri, in his diving suit, visited the underwater world. Through a whirlpool tunnel, Suri arrived at the secret garden under the sea. With Neymar as his guide, the clan used the energy and technology brought by the gold. Neymar built a huge city here. Here the people lived happily and comfortably. Then Suri saw the artificial sun under the sea, and it was made of vibranium. Meanwhile, Nargia finds the entrance to the underwater world through a clue found on the beach. The queen asks her to bring Suri back. He will then try to lure Neymar away. At the moment, Suri wants to resolve the conflict in a peaceful way, but Neymar wants Suri to take a stand for Wakanda. In response to centuries of human subjugation and bullying, Neymar has the intention of attacking the surface. It's up to Wakanda to decide if it's an ally or an enemy. In their desire for the gold, many nations want to divide up Wakanda. If they allied with each other, they would be invincible. But Suri expressed his concern. What would happen if Wakanda did not agree? Neymar said that Wakanda would be the first country to fall. In the face of Neymar's threats, Suri was in a dilemma. Just then the queen summoned Neymar through the conch. The two arrived at the beach. The queen asked Neymar to return her daughter and her scientist. Otherwise she would reveal the existence of the Namo Sea clan. Neymar was not afraid of the threat and threatened to kill the princess and the scientist if he found a Wakanda ship. Just as the talks break down, Nyong'o slipped into the cave. He soon found the two men in captivity. After taking the life of one of the guards, Nyong'o managed to rescue Suri and Lily. But this was the trigger for war between the two countries. For the guard who was killed was the daughter of Neymar. In the heat of hatred, Neymar rallied his people with his crown. With his leadership, Wakanda would pay a heavy price for this. Soon after returning to Wakanda, Suri reinforced the sound barrier. But even so, Neymar broke through. The walls were the first to be blown up by mines. The sea flooded into the area. The city was soon in chaos. Meanwhile, sea people compel with ghostly cries. The lost Wakandans jump into the water in droves. Just then, Suri comes to the rescue in his airship. The queen sees this and immediately sends the ship to evacuate. While most of the people were rescued, Neymar came from the water to the surface. The Wakandan warrior saw this and attacked from behind. The next thing he knew, Neymar was punching him in the face. Air support soon arrives. In the face of artillery fire, Neymar swung his spear and deflected it with ease. With the help of his little wings, Neymar is as light as a swallow and can move with ease. In the face of speed and power, these ships are being dismantled in a matter of minutes. Just then, Suri launches an intense attack. Neymar leaps down and dives into the water. After dodging all the damage, Neymar seized the opportunity to leap up and burst the cockpit. The ship fell out of control and into the sea. Only the admiral arrived in time to save the princess. Neymar tried to get rid of Lily, but the tough glass was too much for him. In the next instant, the clever Neymar threw a water bomb. The water quickly poured into the building. The two of them were also carried underwater by the rushing water. The queen fights to save Lily. By the time they were rescued, they had already drowned. Neymar left the scene in style with this lesson. After much resuscitation, Lily was rescued and the queen was gone forever. After the funeral, the tribal elders wanted to evacuate the city to set up camp in Jabali. The newly crowned Suri had no choice but to agree. To ward off Neymar's next attack, Suri must strengthen herself. Here she thought of the bracelet Neymar had given her. The fibers on it were woven from blue plants. Through genetic analysis, Suri had an unexpected discovery. A clue was found in the chart. a breakthrough in the creation of a new artificial herb. On Lily's advice, to defeat Namor, he must be lured into a dry environment. A way to defeat Namor is taking shape. The key to the new artificial herb was conquered. Shuri has also managed to print it out. To gain the power of the Black Panther, Shuri bravely drinks the herb. After the new herb had fermented, Shuri arrived in the realm of her ancestors, but the person she met was the Money Panther. For now, Shuri's heart is only filled with revenge. Just like the Panther back then, after being taunted, a frustrated Shuri returns to reality. Not seeing his brother left Shuri devastated. As she vented her emotions, she punched the armor and sent it flying. It is clear that Shuri has also gained strength. While the chiefs were meeting in the cave, Shuri fell from the sky. A perfect landing stunned the crowd. After a test of strength with M'Baku, Wakanda's Black Panther has finally come back to life. After becoming a pantheress, Shuri has a plan of her own. She wants to launch a counterattack on Namor. M'Baku tried to dissuade her, but Shuri's eyes were only filled with hate. After gathering the forces of Wakanda, Shuri led her army on a crusade against Namor, using the probe as bait. Namor was successfully lured into the Atlantic Ocean. The sonically attacked sea people surfaced. Just then Shuri leads an attack. Namor enters the fray single-handedly. Lily fights in her steel battle armor. Meanwhile, the seamen disrupt the sonic weapon and board the ship to fight. A fierce battle ensues on the wall of the ship. The Pantheress takes to the air and charges the enemy. With Lily's help, Namor is brought into the ship. Shuri dodges and quickly enters the ship. As the two sides confront each other, Shuri goes into sauna mode. As the temperature in the room rises, Namor feels distinctly uncomfortable. The Wakanda men prepared to retreat after the plan was successful. Unexpectedly, the sea people used the whales to pull in tons of mines after the sonic weapons were unrestricted. Wakanda's ships are turned upside down. As the situation came to a standstill, Shuri sends the Midnight Angels into the fray. Passive, Namor fights back. He attacked the ship with his spear. His weapons are also made of vibranium, so the ship can't hold out for long. At Shuri's command, the ship flew towards the desert, but it didn't last long. Namor destroyed the ship. At the same time, the sea people came on deck. A fierce struggle ensues between the two sides, but numerical disadvantage soon puts Wakanda on the back foot. On the other side, the Pantheress and Namor face off in a final duel. The Pantheress was still outmatched by her overwhelming strength. The arid desert soon weakened Namor. The Pantheress seizes the opportunity to launch a counterattack, but the fallen Namor attacked with a sneak attack. A spear pierces the Pantheress's body, but Namor is no better. Weakened by the lack of water, he tried to return to the sea. In order to stop his opponent, Shuri pulled her body away from the spear. By sheer perseverance, Shuri stepped in front of Namor. With the help of the engine's jets, Namor is battered by the fierce flames. He is now completely defenseless. Shuri grabbed his spear and tried to avenge his family's death. But after a mental struggle, Shuri gave up killing. He persuaded Namor that there was no end to his suffering and that he should turn back. Under Shuri's influence, Namor also put aside his hatred. After shaking hands with Wakanda and making peace, Namor also recalled his army of sea people. After the battle was over, everyone returned to their homes. Shuri was reborn, back to the Wakanda she loved. At the end of the story there is an egg that the Black Panther actually has a son. Only even the Panther doesn't know it. And that's it for this issue. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.